raindrops on the window glass, blue light on my worried hands. Every message I don't send fills the room instead of you. I keep watching all the bubbles disappear before they start, typing out 100 versions of the same unsteady heart. You're still saved here in my favorites like you're only one tap far, but my courage always crashes on this notification bar. Every time you used to ask me, tell me what you really feel, I would turn it into stories, into jokes that sounded real. You were sitting on my carpet tracing patterns with your feet, while I hid behind the music coming from the tiny screen. Now the rain outside is echoing the things I never said, little drops that hit the window like the thoughts inside my head. If the truth had been the language I was brave enough to speak, would we still have drifted slowly or have lasted one more week? Rain on my notification bar, running down the glass like all these half-type wishes, half-formed starts that I never let you see. If I'd opened up a little more than just I'm fine, don't worry, would you still be somewhere close, or would you still have had to leave? Notification bar turns the city into blur. All the words I didn't send now just fall instead of you. You once told me that your greatest fear was being too intense, that your feelings might be heavy, that your love might feel too tense. I remember holding tightly to the pillow at my side, thinking I'm the one who's fragile, but I kept that all inside. I would listen to your stories like a stranger on a train, never showing them my chest or when you talked about your pain. You were brave enough to hand me all the trembling in your voice. I was busy sounding certain, never giving you a choice. Now this room is full of echoes from the nights we almost had, from the almost honest moments, from the almost I feel bad. If I get to hold another in this flickering yellow light, I won't leave the questions hanging in the quiet of the night. Rain on my notification bar, running down the glass like all these half-type wishes, half-formed starts that I never let you see. If I'd opened up a little more than just I'm fine, don't worry, would you still be somewhere close, or would you still have had to leave? Maybe loving isn't hiding all the cracks behind the smile. Maybe being strong was just another name for my denial. If I ever let you hear this through the storm against your door, no, I wanted to be braver, I just never knew what for. Rain on my notification bar, running down the glass like all these half-type wishes, half-formed starts that I never let you see. As the raindrops slide and fade, I let one truth cut through the blue. Next time someone asks you okay, I'll let more than fine slip through. Run my notification bar.
Yeah. It's 2 a.m. again. Typed a lot, saying nothing. Guess tonight I talk to this empty room instead. Streetlights paint my window with a tired kind of gold. Coffee stains and deadlines on my desk are growing old. Another day of I'm okay on every single call. But when I hang up, all these walls start closing in, that's when I fall. Your name is still the shortcut on the top of my screen. I write a whole confession, then erase it line by line. My thumbs know every letter of your story and mine. But when it's time to press send, I freeze up every time. I keep the TV on low just to drown out my head. Every channel feels like reruns of the words we never said. The city's barely breathing, but my chest is way too loud. I hide behind my hoodie like I'm blending with the crowd. I know that time keeps moving, but my heart got left behind. On that night we said it's fine, while nothing felt alright. If healing is a process, mine is stuck on page 1. Still rehearsing every version of the way I should've run. These unsent lines at 2 a.m. stacking up inside my phone again. Every word a little ghost that I can't set free, so they just keep haunting me. I could light them up and let them fly, but I'm scared of what you'll read between the lines. So I leave them in the dark where only I can see. These unsent lines, they're the worst part of me. Yeah, I screenshot our old chats like I'm scared they might erase. Scroll through jokes and blurry photos, every city, every place. You said promise you'll be honest when it's heavy on your chest, but I turned that into silence, guess I never passed the test. You were talking about the future, I was married to my grind. Told you this is for us both, but I kept you on the side. I was busy chasing numbers on a screen that doesn't care. Didn't see that you were counting all the nights I wasn't there. I replayed that rainy evening like a loop that never stops. You were standing by the doorway, eyes already giving up. You said loving you is burning and I'm running out of light. I just bit down on my tongue instead of asking you to fight. Now my playlist is a graveyard where our favorite songs live on. Every verse is like a mirror I don't really wanna own. Friends keep telling me I'll meet someone and start again, but they don't know about these messages I never sent. I know that time keeps moving, but my heart got left behind. On that night we said it's fine, while nothing felt alright. If healing is a process, mine is stuck on page 1. Still rehearsing every version of the way I should've run. These unsent lines at 2 a.m. stacking up inside my phone again. Every word a little ghost that I can't set free, so they just keep haunting me. I could light them up and let them fly, but I'm scared of what you'll read between the lines. So I leave them in the dark where only I can see. These unsent lines, they're the worst part of me. Maybe I'm just writing for a version of you that only exists in the cracks of my room. Maybe you moved on, got your sunrise back, while I stay stuck in this midnight track. If I ever hit send, would it pull you in, or just open old wounds we keep covered in skin? So I save, never share, let the battery die. Another little streak between my heart and the sky. These unsent lines at 2 a.m. overflowing out my phone again. If I send them, I might lose whatever's left of you and me, so I keep them in my memory. I could light them up and let them fly, but I'm scared of who you see on the other side. So I leave them in the dark where only I can see. These unsent lines, they're the worst and best of me. 2 a.m. again. Type the lights and nothing. Guess some words are only meant for late night versions of me. Yeah.
Same train, different night, I'm staring at the glass again. City lights are bleeding into every thought of you I've kept. We used to ride this line and talk like we had time to spare. Now it's just me and my reflection sitting in your empty chair. Our doors closed, little chime and the world begins to move. People scrolling through their lives like they got nothing left to lose. I'm holding on to this pole like it's my last bit of control, while my mind keeps running back to us and everything I broke. You were always on the side, back against the window frame, tracing little hearts in fog when winter hit the window pane. You laugh about the future like we'd already made it there, and I'm not but secretly worried I was never really prepared. Notifications on my phone don't mean a single thing tonight. I could have 100 messages and still not feel alright, cause the conversation that I really need is one that I can't start. You're an echo down the tunnel and a shadow on my heart. I replay every station where you used to lean on me, how your head would find my shoulder when the carriage shook with speed. Now the seat across is empty but it still feels fully loud, with all the words I never said just bouncing off the crowd. Same train, different night, I'm staring at the glass again. City lights are bleeding into every thought of you I've kept. We used to ride this line and talk like we had time to spare. Now it's just me and my reflection sitting in your empty chair. I remember how you'd hate it when I checked my phone too much. Said you here but not really, and I laughed it off like fun. I treated every minute like it'd always be on tap. Now I'm counting every second that I wish I could get back. I was chasing after goals that never asked me how I feel, clocking in and clocking out while calling that a future bill. You were staring out the window, seeing more than just a night. You were picturing a home, I was just picturing the grind. You said love is not a background track to all your busy noise, but I turned our little world into a place of half turquoise. Told you we were solid but my actions weren't the same. Now this train is like a courtroom where I listen to my blame. I see couples in the corner sharing headphones, sharing songs. Wonder what you're listening to when I'm not the one you want. Do you still ride this done it all, or did you change your route? I'm stuck inside this loop of us, just circling my doubts. I used to say one day, like it was some magic cure. One day trips, one day plans, one day we'll be more secure. Now that one day never came, and the tracks just carry on, while I sit and face a version of myself that got it wrong. Same train, different night, I'm staring at the glass again. City lights are bleeding into every thought of you I've kept. We used to ride this line and talk like we had time to spare. Now it's just me and my reflection sitting in your empty chair. Maybe I should get off early, change my route and change my mind. Find a street I've never walked on, leave this ghost of us behind. But each station has a memory, every tunnel holds your name, and the map inside my chest keeps pulling me back to the same train, different night, I'm staring at the glass again. All the plans we drew together feel like cities in the rain. We used to ride this line and think the world was only ours. Now I'm learning how to travel with the distance in my heart.
Street is empty, steps are slow. Your reflection, and in each glow, every corner that I pass feels like where we used to laugh. I keep tracing all the sidewalks that we used to share at night, passing by the little window where you loved the yellow light. You would point out all the stray cats, giving names we soon forget. I would smile but stay in silence, scared you'd hear my real regrets. You once asked me on this crosswalk, are you happy where we are? I said yeah, the pace is perfect, while I stared up at a star, hoping you would read the feelings that I never learned to show. Like the way this quiet worm turned into something I don't know. Every traffic light is holding all the words I let turn red. All the times I told you nothing, let the questions go instead. If the truth had been a land and I could carry in my hand, would we still have lost each other on this slowly freezing land? Now I'm walking home without your light. Every shadow feels too wide. All the things I meant to say are just echoes at my side. If I let you see the mess instead of neat and polished lines, would this road still feel so long, or would your footsteps match with mine? There's a bench beside the river where you used to rest your head, telling me about your childhood and the monsters in your bed. I remember wanting badly just to tell you I had mine, but I swallowed every sentence like the truth was out of line. You would send me little voice notes on the nights you couldn't sleep, saying can I just be honest, while your voice was shaking deep. I would answer in the morning with the simple hope you're fine, like the details of your darkness were just footnotes to my time. Now the wind is pushing gently like it wants to turn me back to the places that we linger, to the chances that I lacked. If I ever share this pavement with another pair of feet, I will not expect them guessing what I'm too afraid to speak. So I'm walking home without your light, but I won't stay out of sight. If I stand with someone new, I'll bring all my storms in view. So I'm walking home without your light. right away, like a sudden cut into the scene. No separate instrumental, only intro after the final short chords and coffee in a can. I'm just here because I couldn't really go back home again. Same blue tile, same crooked little map, same cashier with the circles underneath his eyes like mine. Grab a bottle of water, grab a sandwich I don't want. I just need a reason not to sit alone with all my thoughts, yeah. You used to text me, buy me something sweet. I bring your favorite chocolate, watch you kick off both your feet. We sit up in my kitchen with the TV playing low. Now the messages are empty and the typing bar is cold. My reflection's in the fridge door, warped around the cans. I look like some stranger trying to figure out his plans. I keep scrolling through my phone just to fake that I'm okay. But the only thing that's loading is the fact you walked away. Everyone is sleeping while I'm stuck in this white light, thinking how I turned our future into just another night. If regret had a flavor, it'd be cheap and kinda stale, like the snacks I keep on buying just to fill this inner fail. Neon hours at 3 a.m., holding all the pieces of the life I could've had. I'm standing in the middle of the quiet and the bright, trying not to think of you, but you keep flickering in my mind. I don't need another drink, I don't need another light to tell myself I'm fine. I just need a different way to walk out of this night. Neon hours at 3 a.m. and you still stay on my mind. Yeah, I pay with crumpled bills, nod my head and fake a smile. The scanner makes that little sound like everything is fine. Out the window there's a taxi waiting on somebody else. Funny how it feels like every car is more prepared than I. We used to talk about escaping, moving somewhere by the sea. Now the farthest I've been going is a store on my street. You said you're always in your head, you never let me all the way. I said I'll do better later, but that later came too late. The plastic bag is cutting little red lines in my hand. Kinda like the way my choices cut the line where we would stand. If I called you right this second, you'd be sleeping through the ring. Or you see my name and wonder why I only call when I'm not okay again. I walk past the vending machine, glowing on the side like a tiny neon chapel for the people who can't cry. I could sit down on the curb and let the morning find me here, but I know I'll go back home and face the silence that I fear. I'm not looking for a miracle inside these plastic wraps. I just need a little courage not to keep on looking back. If tomorrow has a version of me standing a bit more tall, maybe he'll pass the store and never have to stop at all. Neon hours at 3 a.m., holding all the pieces of the life I could've had. I'm standing in the middle of the quiet and the bright, trying not to think of you, but you keep flickering in my mind. I don't need another drink, I don't need another lie to tell myself I'm fine. I just need a different way to walk out of this night. Neon hours at 3 a.m. and you still stay on my mind. Neon hours at 3 a.m. and you still stay on my mind. Neon hours at 3 a.m. I'm paying for the things I did and all the words I never said. If feeling is just walking out and choosing not to hide, I'll leave this light behind and take one honest step outside.
Cold rail under both my hands, headlights drawing shaky lines. Every car that passes by feels like one more borrowed time. Shoelaces dragging on the concrete, I've been pacing back and forth, looking down at all these taillights like they know what I am worth. You kept asking what I'm hiding, I kept pointing at the noise, blaming everything but me for why I never used my voice. We would meet up after midnight halfway down this busy road. You would talk about your future, how you're scared to be alone. I would stand here on this bridge and change the subject once again, point at buildings, talk about music, never say what's in my head. Every time you took a breath like you were diving into truth, I would joke and skip the moment like a coward in a suit, saying we'll be fine, don't worry, with that distance in my chest, while you held out something fragile and I never held it best. Now the only thing beneath me is a stream of fading light, all the chances I stepped over just to keep from being real. If I let my hands stop shaking long enough to let you see, maybe we would still have ended, but you know the honest me. I've been standing on this bridge between the person that I showed and the one I never let anyone around me know. On this bridge above the traffic, I replay the words I hear, all the times I said it's nothing when it really never is. If I let you see me cracking instead of acting like I'm stoned, will this railing still be holding all the nights I spent alone? On this bridge above the traffic, painted, tracing letters in the air, spelling out the kind of life you want with someone who can care. You were not asking for magic, not a perfect, flawless run. You just wanted me to show you when I felt like coming done. I kept all my storms in private, called it how I did with stuff. Told myself that staying quiet was the same as staying tough. You were learning how to trust me while I filtered every thought, till you realized that the version you had met was all you got. Now the hum below is steady like the silence we became. Two directions never meeting, always finding something else to blame. If I ever stand in later with another by my side, I can't keep my heart behind me like it's safer left to hide. I've been standing on this bridge between the person that I showed and the one I never let anyone around me know. On this bridge above the traffic, I replay the words I hear. All the times I said it's nothing, when it really never is. If I let you see me cracking, instead of acting like I'm stoned, would this railing still be holding all the nights I spent alone? So I step back from the edge with a little less disguise. If I love again, I'll bring more than just my practice line.
Blinking in the corner of the room, cables like a spider web stretched across the gloom. Empty water bottles, scribbles on the wall, all the texts we never used. Us sleeping on this hard drive now. You were sitting by the door with your hoodie halfway on, laughing when I missed the time and telling me to go again. I was busy chasing perfect, you were chasing something real. Guess I never understood how heavy all my silence feels. The mic is hanging like a question I don't wanna face. Every lyric that I wrote for you is hiding in this place. I can almost hear you humming under breath between the bars. Now the only sound is AC and the buzzing of my scars. Phone on airplane mode, lying face down by the keys, still pretending that the world can wait while I chase melodies. But the only song I'm hearing is the one we left unsung, echoes bouncing off the panels of the place where we came from. Your jacket on the back of the chair, still hanging like you're coming back here. But the room knows better than me that we won't share another beat. I hear echoes in room 306, all the little almost words and half-finished riffs, every promise on the tip of your tongue. Now they only live in reverb and dust. I press play but it's never enough. Can't rewind to the moment before we gave up. Yeah, your laughter's still stuck in these bricks. I hear echoes in room 3.
Yeah, I run the track and let my verse fall in the same old groove. Different take but same excuses, I'm afraid of telling truth. You said stop performing for me, just be honest where you stand. But I turned my whole emotion into something I could brand. I was mixing down our memories like a demo for myself, tweaking every little detail while you asked me for my help. You were drowning in the silence I kept sending as a sign. I kept saying once I make it, all this pain will be worth time. Now the posters on the wall look like strangers staring back. All the heroes I grew up with couldn't teach me what I lack. Cause I learned how to hit the note and how to land on every beat, but I never learned to say I'm scared I'm not enough for you and me. I scroll through the old projects, see your name in every file.
You go one, ad-libs, you laugh, take 5.
I could solo every channel, hear the best of what we were,
but I can't unmute the moment where I chose my fear over your words. All the metronomes and click tracks can't keep my heart from falling back to the night you walked out that door and I just stared down at the floor. I hear echoes in room 306, all the little almost words and half-finished riffs, every promise on the tip of your tongue. Now they only live in reverb and dust. I press play but it's never enough. Can't rewind to the moment before we gave up. Yeah, your laughter's still stuck in these bricks. I hear echoes in room 306. Maybe I should pack it up, take the posters off the paint. Sell the speakers, kill the lease. Admit I'm not the saint I claim, but a part of me is hoping there's a version of this life where I learn to hit record on what I feel inside. I can't bring you back in person, I can only face the sound of the person that I was and who I'm trying to be now. So I take a breath and finally say the words I always hid. Let this room be the witness to the truth I never did. I hear echoes in room 306, but tonight I'm gonna give our ghosts a final mix. Every promise that I never lived up to, I release it with this last song about you. I press save and it's still not enough, but I'm done pretending I was ever really tough. If goodbye is the price of this fix, let these echoes fade from room 306.
Same night, same train, different doors. Different exits, same night. We walk out into the light. You go left and I go right, carrying our separate lives. If we'd spoken one breath more at the bottom of those stairs, would we still have split like this, or found something we could share? Different exits, same night, same cold wind across our eyes. All the words we never used follow us into the sky. I remember holding on to every second by your side, leaning on the subway railing while the darkness rode outside. You were laughing at the posters at the tired morning crowd. I was busy memorizing how your voice could calm me down. You once asked me on that platform, do you think we'll be okay? I say yeah, we're not like others, then I look the other way, scared that if I open fully you will find a broken floor. So I kept my answers pretty, left my fears behind the door. I kept telling you I'm busy like a shield I always wore, checking schedules, checking messages, but not you anymore. You were waiting for a window when my guard would finally drop. I was tugging on the handbrake of a train that wouldn't stop. Now we stand before the turnstiles that divide our quiet streets. Same cold metal, same old beeping, just two unfamiliar beats. If the truth had been a ticket that I had the nerve to buy, would we still take different exits or walk out beneath one? Different exits, same night. We walk out into the light. You go left and I go right, carrying our separate lives. If we spoken one breath more at the bottom of those stairs, will we still have split like this, or found something we could share? I was scared of being heavy, I was scared you see me weak, so I made my feelings smaller, and I never chose to speak. Maybe love was never asking us to play a flawless role, just to walk out side by side with our honest shaking souls. Different exits, same night. We walk out into the light. You go left and I go right, carrying our separate lives. Same night, same night, same different doors, but I won't hide like that no more.
Every exit sign behind me looks a little like your name.
Every exit sign in my rearview feels like one more way I'm driving out of you. Highway lines are drawing new lines through my life, while your voice is fading somewhere in the night. I've been circling around the same old fears. Now I'm pushing past the borders of our years. Every exit sign in my rearview is just one more mile between my heart and you.
City on my left side, darkness on my right. Dashboard glow is painting little stories on the night. Radio is low, just a drum and distant bass. I'm alone inside a car that used to carry both our weight. You were always in the passenger seat, feet on the dash, talking about forever while I checked another task. You said tell me what you're feeling, I said later after this. I kept choosing all my schedules over every single kiss. Till now we had that final round, the one that had no breaks. You said love is not a project you could save on weekends, babe. I watch your hallway lamps go dark behind my closing eyes. Now the only light I'm chasing is a strip of yellow light. Empty signs above me, all these towns I've never seen. I just know I need some distance from the places we have been. Got a suitcase full of clothes and a glove box full of blame, and a map that doesn't show me how to turn from lost to sane. Don't know where I am going, but I know I can't go back to the room where every promise cracked and crumbled into black. Every exit sign in my rearview feels like one more way I'm driving out of you. Highway lines are drawing new lines through my life, while your voice is fading somewhere in the night. I've been circling around the same old fears. Now I'm pushing past the borders of our years. Every exit sign in my rearview is just one more mile between my heart and you.
Yeah, I remember when we used to take this road for fun. Windows down, your laughter louder than the setting sun. You lean into the corner, shout the lyrics of your song. We were young and kinda stupid, but we couldn't be more strong. And the miles turned into deadlines, turned into I'll call you late. We put us inside a folder labeled once we got it straight, but that day just never landed. Like a plane without a ground, we were hovering above everything, afraid we both fall down. You were begging me to slow up, I was flooring every lane. Thought that if I kept on moving, I could outrun all my shame. Now the only thing I'm losing is the grip on what we had. And the further that I drive, the less it hurts to feel this bad. Still your jacket's in the backseat like a ghost that never leaves. I can smell your favorite perfume every time I start to breathe. But I crack another window, let the cold air cut through deep. Cause I'd rather feel the honest pain than go back half asleep.
Maybe I'm not really ready, but I'm driving anyway. If I wait until I'm certain, I'll be stuck in yesterday. Every exit sign in my rearview feels like one more way I'm driving out of you. Highway lines are drawing new lines through my life, while your voice is fading somewhere in the night. I've been circling around the same old fears. Now I'm pushing past the borders of our years. Every exit sign in my rearview is just one more mile between my heart and you. I'm not erasing you, I'm just rewriting where I stand. Your chapter I'll remember, not the shape of who I am. Yeah, I loved you like a sunrise on a day I couldn't keep. Now I'm chasing down a morning I can finally call my own to.
Rearview.
Driving out of you.
New lines, new life.
If I see your name tomorrow on a screen I used to fear, maybe I won't break in half, maybe I'll just breathe you clear. I'm not running from your shadow, I'm just stepping through the dark till the engine in my heartbeat find a different place to start. Every exit sign in my rearview feels like one more way I'm driving out of you. Highway lines are drawing new lines through my life, while your voice is fading somewhere in the night. I've been circling around the same old fears. Now I'm pushing past the borders of our years. Every exit sign in my rearview is just one more mile between my heart and you.
Walk along the riverside before the city wakes. Street lamps fading into gray like all my half mistakes. Water pulling pieces of the night down through the bridge. Kinda like the way I let us drift without a grip. Hands inside my pockets, phone heavy on my thigh. I could open up our chat, but I already know why. You got tired of my distance, dressed up as I'm fine. I was scared that if I broke, you would see the mess inside. Every bench along this path still remembers where we sat. You were tracing little circles on my sleeve with both your hands, telling me about your parents, how you scared to be like them. I just nodded at the river, never saying what I am. I kept saving every secret for a better kind of time. Like the sunrise I kept promising, but never let you find. Now the only thing that's honest is this cold November air, and the fact that if I call you, you might not still want me there. By the riverside before sunrise, I'm finding out the reasons, I'm just done with all the lies. I've been hiding every feeling like it's something I should hide, till I lost the only person who could see through my disguise. By the riverside before sunrise, I rehearse the words I hold you while the sky's turning light. If tomorrow ever finds me with the courage in my eyes, I won't say I'm just busy, I will say I was not right. Joggers pass with headphones, dogs pulling at the leaves, trash boats drifting in the dark, collecting what we leave. I've been throwing all my chances like those bottles in the flow, telling fate it's up to her to bring them back to where they go. You said don't need a hero, I just need you when it hurts. I kept checking all my metrics like my heart was just a work. Every time you try to name the empty knees between our ribs, I would change the conversation, turn it into one day wins. Now the building's on the other side, look softer than before. Maybe I was always sharper than I ever had to be. I was scared that if I soften you would see I'm full of fear, but you left because I wouldn't even let you hold it near. So I stand here on the pavement with my shadow getting thin, thinking if I want a future that is more than what it's been. I can't build it on the silence that I wrapped around your pain. I've gotta speak like someone who can lose and still remain. By the riverside before sunrise, finally out the reasons, I'm just done with all the lies. I've been hiding every feeling like it's something I should hide, till I lost the only person who could see through my disguise. By the riverside before sunrise, I rehearse the words I hold you while the sky's turning light. If tomorrow ever finds me with the courage in my eyes, I won't say I'm just busy, I will say I was not right. If I see your name tomorrow on a screen I used to fear, I won't wait until the evening just to make you disappear. I will call you in the daytime with my shaking honest voice, and if you would move beyond me, I will still stand by that choice. Cause the person that I'm facing on this empty riverside is the one who needs the truth more than another place to hide. If I learn to tell the story of my heart without a mask, maybe loving you with someone won't be something I miscast.
Glass shaking with the road, city blurring into gold. Empty seat beside my side, where you used to spend the ride. On this night bus I replay every word I didn't say. Streetlights flicker on the glass, like the chances that I passed. If I'd opened up my chest half as fast as I would leave, would you still have walked away? Or would you still sit here with me? Ticket crumpled in my hand, like the way I held your trust. Always saying we'll talk later, then just covering it with dust. You were asking, are you with me while we rattled through the town? I was staring at the ceiling, letting every moment drown. I remember all the nights we took this bus from your old place. You were leaning to my shoulder, draw the skyline with your gaze, telling me about your mother, all the things that made you scared. I would nod and change the subject like your soul was too much air. I kept blaming all the distance on the schedules and the trains, on the way that we kept folding, on the weather and the rain. But the truth is I was hiding, scared you see my cracked design, so I smiled and kept it surface while your heart was on the line. Now I watch the neon letters sliding backwards as we move. Feels like everything between us disappearing out of view. Driver staring at the road like he's heard this all before. Someone losing what they wanted on the last bus after 4. On this night bus I replay every word I didn't say. Streetlights flicker on the glass, like the chances that I passed. If I opened up my chest half as fast as I would leave, would you still have walked away? Or would you still sit here with me? Yeah, every stop is like a question. Would you do it all the same? Would you still avoid the answers just to keep a steady frame? You were never asking me to be a hero, save the night. You just wanted me to tell you when my chest was feeling tight. I kept everything in drafts, all the fear and all the doubt, saving honesty for someday till that someday just ran out. You were talking to a version that I edited for show, while the messier and real me stayed behind. You didn't know if I ever let another take this tired window seat, I won't let them pour their heart out while I'm staring at my feet. I will tell them when I'm breaking, I'll pretend I'm always fine. Let them see the shaky edges, not just well-rehearsed replies. On this night bus as we glide, I won't hide the next time I share a window, share a life. I won't write it all in silence one more time. cold rail underneath my hand. City flickers like a plan. All the words I never used rise and fade with every fuse. You once told me on this rooftop you were scared of growing old without someone who could hold you when your stories got too bold. I just laughed and changed the subject to the planes across the sky. Said we've got a lot of time, then let another moment die. You were tracing constellations with your fingers in the air, naming every star you wanted, every dream you like to share. I kept watching from a distance like a guest inside my life, too afraid that if I opened you would see the untied wires. Now the billboards in the distance look like questions turned to dust. All the times you asked me gently, can you tell me who you trust? If the truth had been a building I was brave enough to climb, will we still be on this rooftop, just not standing here as one? On this rooftop before the sun, I rehearsed what I should have done. All the nights I kept my heart folded in a careful hush. If I let you see the cracks instead of just the steady face, would you still have walked away or stay with me in this place? On this rooftop before the sun, every light below me knows I was present in the frame, but not in the weight you hold. Maybe loving isn't shining like a perfect metal line. Maybe it is standing shaking, saying this is what is mine. On this rooftop before the sun, I rehearsed what I should have done. All the nights I kept my heart folded in a careful hush. If I let you see the cracks instead of just the steady face, would you still have walked away or stay with me in this place? Railing cold against my skin, morning inching into view. Next time someone aims the stars, I won't hide my sky from you.
My screen is full of sentences I never let you read. Little blue line drafts just sitting there like seeds. Every time I typed I'm scared I backed it up to I'm okay. Every time I wrote I need you I erased it all away. Notification bubbles were weather for a while. You would send me heavy clouds, I reply with some gray smile. You were asking are we slipping in, a voice between the lines. I kept answering with stickers, kept on dodging all the signs. Old chat logs scroll like credits of a movie I half watched. Scenes where you were reaching out and I just told you what I got. Work deadlines, hanging with my friends, some story on repeat. Anything but I'm not brave enough to show you what's beneath. Now the only sound in here is just the buzzing of the wall. Fridge humming in the kitchen and my breathing down the hall. If I had a way to bundle all the words I locked away, they would stack up like an exit I refuse to take that day. All these words I never use, circle in this quiet room. Every I'm fine, every no it's cool. It's just me hiding from the truth. If I said I feel small next to you, or I'm terrified of losing what I've grown into, maybe we would still have broken, maybe we'd still be undone. But at least you would've known I wasn't the one. Yeah, I remember when you told me that you hate the way I drift. You were talking in the doorway while I scrolled and made a list of the tasks I had tomorrow, all the goals I had to chase. You were standing there with questions, I was nowhere in that space. I kept waiting for a moment that was perfect for the truth. Some imaginary evening where I'd spill my younger youth. All the things I never healed, all the fears I never named. But that moment never came because I never built this frame. Instead I use emojis like a language made of smoke. Sent you all the way in place of I'm exhausted and I'm broke. You were learning how to listen to the pauses in my tone, but you can't hold on to someone who won't meet you on their own. Now my keyboard feels much heavier than it ever did before. I can type 1,000 letters, none of them reach out your door. Every sentence starts with sorry, then it dies inside my throat. Like the version of you loved you but was scared to let you know. All these words I never use, circle in this quiet room. Every I'm fine, every no it's cool, was just me hiding from the truth. If I'd said I feel small next to you, or I'm terrified of losing what I've grown into, maybe we would still have broken, maybe we'd still be undone. But at least you would've known I wasn't none. There's a notebook by the bedside full of lines I never spoke, half-finished confessions that I turned into a joke. If I ever want a different kind of ending than we got, I can't keep my heart in draft mode like it's safer when it's not. So I practice saying out loud what I usually delete. I'm afraid you'll see my failures, I feel hollow when I cheat. Not on people but on feelings that I owe the ones I love, telling them a softer version when the storm is right above. All these words I never use, can't rewind what we went through, but I can stop hiding in this room, acting like my silence wasn't cruel. If I speak from where I bruise, maybe someday someone new won't have to guess what I'm going through, cause I'll bring the words I never use. All these words I never use.
I write a line, then let it fade. Watch the letters fall away. Every truth that almost leaves dies before it reaches you. Screen light on my face, room dark, heart loud, scrolling through our history like a timeline I rewound. Every good night that we sent floats above this empty bed. Every call me when you can, there's a stone inside my head. I tap your name and lock the phone like I just crossed a line. Writing half a sentence out and watching it erasing time. You kept saying say it now before it turns away. I kept answering with later till you learned it meant too late. Typing 3 or 4 words, backspace till the bar's clean. All the parts I never showed stay stuck somewhere in between. If I'd ever told you straight how much I shake when you're not near, maybe you would still have left, but you would leave a different fear. Now the only voice that answers when I throw my thoughts around is the quiet in this bedroom and the buzzing city sound. I got signal, I got data, but I nothing I can send, cause the version that you knew of me only spoke at the very end. This is where the message breaks, right before the truth escapes. Every time I almost say what I'm really trying to save. Little bubbles on your screen, used to me you're there with me. Now the only thing that moves is the line that clears my truth. Friends keep telling me to write, you say it doesn't have to fix, just to send a simple sorry, not some story full of tricks. But I've always been the type to turn confession into art, polish words instead of showing you the fracture in my heart. You were never asking me for perfect timing or speech, you just wanted me to answer when your doubt was in its peak. I kept dressing up my silence like I'm busy, like I'm strong, till you realized all the distance was just proof I wasn't on. I remember when you typed a paragraph and pressed delete, said forget it, it's not worth it, as you stare down at your feet. I could see you closing windows, I had left it for too long. Still I chose to change the subject, act like nothing much was wrong. Now my keyboard feels much heavier than it ever did before. I can write 1,000 phrases, none of them reach out your door. Every sentence starts with sorry, then it dies inside my chest, like the part of me that loved you but was scared to be a mess. This is where the message breaks, right before the truth escapes. Every time I almost say what I'm really trying to save. Little bubbles on your screen, used to me you're here with me. Now the only thing that moves is the line that clears my truth. There's a note inside my draft that has your name and nothing more. I've been staring at the header like a locked and private door. If I ever want a different kind of ending than we had, I can keep my heart in outline like a plan I never asked. So I practice on the silence, all the words I used to hide. I'm scared you'll see me broken, I feel hollow deep inside. If I say that to another when they ask me how I am, maybe I won't watch them vanish when they reach out for my hand. This is where the message breaks, but I wanna erase it safe. If I ever write again, I will send it as I am. Little bubbles on your screen won't be all you get from me. I will bring the part I use to keep buried in the blue.
Neon spilling on my shoes, half a dinner, half the truth. Every message left unread says more than the words I sent. I sit back against my leg, cooling down this midnight air. I've been sitting by this doorway like I'm guarding something there. All the people come and go, buy their drinks and head back home. I just scroll through old conversations so I don't feel so alone. You said call me when you're honest, I say yeah, I'll call you soon. Then I hid behind my hours, every deadline, every room. You were asking how I'm really doing, not about my day. I kept giving you the weather when you asked me for the rain. Streetlight buzzing over me like it's tired of what I am. Always almost telling you the truth and backing out again. If apologies were cans out of piles by my feet, all unopened, all just waiting for a courage I don't keep. I remember all the nights you met me right here after work, leaning on this glass and laughing like the world was never worse. You would tell me what you're scared of, who you trust and who you don't. I would give you all my stories, but the softest parts I won't. Neon outside the store, those are things I never said. Every maybe I'll explain, turn to leave it all unread. If I'd opened up my chest half as fast as I unlocked my phone, would you still have walked away? Or would we not feel so alone? Neon outside the store sees me practicing the lines, all the truths I never said in those late and borrowed nights. Yeah, I've been blaming all the distance on the miles and on the time, on the way our schedules tangled, on the way our days collide. But the realest part is simple, I was scared to let you in, so I wrapped my heart in silence, called that how I've always been. You were never asking me to fix the city or the sky, you just wanted me to look at you and answer, yeah, I'm trying. I kept stacking little jokes on top of everything you felt, till your patience finally melted and you put me on the shelf. Now this doorway is a mirror with no glass and no escape, shows me how I kept on running while I told you I would stay. If I ever love another, I can't play the same old role. Can't keep hiding every fracture, then complain I feel alone. Neon outside the store, those are things I never said. Every maybe I'll explain, turn to leave it all unread. If I'd opened up my chest half as fast as I unlocked my phone, would you still have walked away? Or would we not feel so alone? Neon outside the store sees me practicing the lines, all the truths I never said in those late and borrowed nights. So I stand up from these steps, let the sliding doors close slow. Next time someone asks me how I am, I won't answer with the weather anymore.
Cold can sweating in my hand, city water quietly. We would meet here after work, trade our days across this view. You would talk about your boss and all the things you couldn't do. I would kick at little stones, make the silence look okay, never letting you see clearly how my chest was tight and gray. You once asked me by this railing, do you feel this just as much? I said yeah, you know I'm with you, but I never named the rush. Thought that you could read the meaning in the way I stayed till late, while I dodged the naked sentences that might bend beneath their weight. Now the benches feel much wider with your space beside my side. All the lights across the water look like words I let you slide. If apologies were ripples, I would flood this river wide, but the only thing that's moving is this drink and changing tide. I remember almost telling you that my hands still sometimes shake. When I'm scared you'll see the real me underneath the jokes I make, but I swallow down a moment like the edge of bitter foam, choosing comfort in my habits over building us a home. On this riverbank after everything, I rewind the parts I skipped, all the nights I played it cool, when my heart was at the brink. If I let you see the storms instead of just the quiet shore, would you still have walked away, or have stayed a little more? On this riverbank after everything, I can't blame the time or rain. It was me who wouldn't show where I really held my pain. If I ever share this metal rail with someone new someday. I won't leave them guessing stories that I'm too afraid to say. I will tell them when I'm smaller than a shadow that I cast. Let them know they're not the only one with ghosts inside their past. On this riverbank, after everything, I rewind the parts I skipped. All the nights I played it cool, when my heart was at the brink. If I let you see the storms instead of just the quiet shore, would you still have walked away, or have stayed a little more? Oh, yeah. Empty canvas at my feet, river carrying what I keep. Next time someone sits this close, I won't leave us both asleep.
By the edge just to hear some move. Old antennas on the rooftop pointing nowhere but the moon. Windows down below are playing other people's lives in squares. I've been watching from above like I'm allergic to the air. We burned a pack of loved ones here the night before you left. You were laughing at the smoke but they were shaking in your breath. Said you didn't want to promise that I never make mistakes. You just wanted me to talk before the damage turned to late. I kept checking on my messages instead of checking in. You were sitting on this concrete asking where I really am. Every answer that I gave you was a copy-pasted line from the script I use on everyone who asks if I'm alright. Now the railing feels like border between who I was and am. One side full of all the noise, the other full of what I can. If these ashes underfoot were every thought I never spoke, this whole rooftop will be deeper than the city made of smoke. Rooftop ashes, broken glass, all the words I let you pass, rise and fall with every breath I'm taking in this heavy air. All the things I didn't say didn't make the hurt go away. They just sent you down the stairs while I stayed standing unprepared.
Yeah, I used to call this place escape. Now it feels like evidence of the way I kept on choosing distance over common sense. You were tracing little patterns in the dust with both your shoes, saying tell me something real. I changed the subject, changed the view, pointed out the glowing signs, named the streets and named the lights. Anything but how I'm empty when it's quiet late at night. You were never asking me to fix the way the skyline bends. You just wanted me to trust you with the parts that never meant.
Now my jacket smells like smoke from all the nights I stood up here, thinking life would somehow soften if I just ignored the fear. But the truth is that my silence was the sharpest thing I threw, and it cut through what we had more than any honest wound. If I ever love again and bring him to this crumbling ledge, I won't stare off at the city like it's safer than my chest. I will stand here with my shake and let the words fall where they land, even if it means they see I don't know how to fully stand. Rooftop ashes, broken glass, all the words I let you pass, rise and fall with every breath I'm taking in this heavy air. All the things I didn't say didn't make the hurt go away. They just sent you down the stairs while I stayed standing unprepared. Somewhere there's a different night, where I answer when you call, where I let you see the fractures, not just how I stand up tall. Maybe we still fall apart, maybe nothing really saves, but at least you wouldn't wonder if I ever tried to stay. I can't rewrite what is missing, can't uncrumble what we dropped, but I can't refuse to live like every feeling must be locked. If I climb another rooftop with a heart that's halfway bruised, I will let my voice be louder than the fear of being used. Rooftop ashes, quiet sky, I'm not asking you to try, I'm just learning how to speak without erasing every ache. Rooftop ashes at my feet, if I leave this stubborn seat, I'll take less of all my armor and a little more my real weight. City running down the glass, every light a question asked. Driver doesn't know my name, but he hears me breathe your past. Seatbelt across my chest like a line I never crossed. I keep watching all the buildings like they're everything I lost. Your streets fading in the mirror while I'm sinking in the seat. I just told the driver anywhere but it's your block on repeat. We were arguing in circles by the elevator door. You were saying, say it plainly, I was staring at the floor. Every time you ask me why do I feel here alone, I threw answers made of smoke instead of saying I don't know. Now I'm mouthing old excuses to my faint reflection here in the window of this taxi. I can't even make it clear to a stranger on the front seat who keeps glancing in the glass. If I start to talk I'll crack, so I just let the meter pass. If apologies were highways I'd be stuck behind a truck. Always thinking I'll change lanes soon but I never really look. So I circle around the questions, round the truth I never said, till the only thing that's moving is the traffic in my head. Backseat confessions, never reach the door. All these broken sentences just die inside my throat. Every turn we're taking feels like one I took with you, but I'm talking to the window, not the one I needed to. Backseat confessions, spilling in my mind. If I let them out before, would you still be by my side? Now the only one who hears them is this tired, hired ride, while I practice being honest to the dark outside. Yeah, I remember when you lean on me and fall asleep right here. Same side of the car, same hum in my ear. Back then every neon sign was just a backdrop for your laugh. I was certain I would tell you everything about my scattered past, but I waited for a moment that was tidy, brave and neat, till the feeling's over and it's like a flood across the street. You were drowning in the silence that I tried to make look calm, holding out your open hands while I kept both of mine withdrawn. Driver asked me, is the music fine? I tell him turn it up, cause I'm scared that if it's quiet all my guilt will fill the truck. I've been hiding in the details of the day I had instead of admitting I was scared to show the storm inside my head. If I ever get the courage to stop riding past our place, I woke up without a speech, just a shaking on his face. But I know that you don't know me, any future or reply, so I talk into this vinyl as the city passes by. Backseat confessions, never reach a door. All these broken sentences just die inside my throat. Every turn we're taking feels like one I took with you, but I'm talking to the window, not the one I needed to. Backseat confessions, spilling in my mind. If I let them out before, would you still be by my side? Now the only one who hears them is this tired, hired ride, while I practice being honest to the dark outside. Maybe this is just rehearsal for a life you'll never see, where I finally say I'm fragile instead of I'm just busy. Maybe this is just rehearsal for a life you'll never see, where I finally say I'm fragile instead of I'm just busy. Machines humming in a row, neon buzz above my head. Every shirt you used to wear spins around the words I left.
Yeah, yeah. 1:15 a.m., same detergent, different night. I've been sitting by this dryer, watching clothes and no replies. We would come here after midnight, you'll be laughing at the floor, saying when my life feels heavy, I just spin it one time more. You were folding all your secrets in the piles along the seat. I was acting like these t-shirts were the hardest thing to keep. You would ask me what I'm thinking, I say nothing, I'm just tired. When the truth was I was terrified, you see my wires all miswired. I've been stuck on rinse and repeat with all the ways I shut you out. Blaming distance, blaming time, and never naming my own doubt. If apologies were tokens, out of pockets full of change, but I'm staring at this washer like it's me that needs to change.
Spin cycle memories, round and round they go. All the words you never said, hanging in my clothes. If you'd rinse the fear away before you turn to stone, will we still have come here late instead of leaving me alone? Spin cycle memories, tumbling in my head. I can feel the things you meant, buried and unsaid. Now the only thing that turns here is this quiet silver ring, and the echoes of a love you never let do anything.
Yeah. There's
There's a t-shirt you once borrowed that still smell like your shampoo. I keep telling myself wearing it is something I can't do, so it sits there on the metal like it's waiting for a sign. Like the way you used to wait for me to finally cross the line. I remember how you tell me you were scared to be too much, how you worry every feeling was just something I was shush. I would answer with you fine, like that settles everything, then go back to scrolling nothing while you held your everything. Now the coins roll down the start like all the chances that I drop. Once the drum begins to turn, there's just no easy way to stop. If I ever let somebody see the stains I try to hide, I can't throw them in the cycle and then hang them up to dry.
I was scared you see me weak.
I just wanted you to try.
I kept folding on my truth.
I got tired asking why.
I was scared you'd see me weak.
I just wanted you to try.
I kept folding on my truth. I got tired asking why. Spin cycle memories, round and round they go. All the things you never voiced, pulling at my clothes. If we ever meet again between these rows of silver doors, I won't wait for you to tell me what your silence meant before. Machines humming soft and low. I press stop and let them rest. I can't leave the things we were in these corners, not my chest.
Same room, different silence. Same room, different silence.
Same room, different silence. You stir your drink, I watch the door. If I had the words to find us, would we still be less than before?
Every second that I waste, holding back what's in my chest, makes the distance in this space louder than the things I kept.
I remember when this table felt too small to hold our plans. We would talk until they closed up, drawing futures with our hands. You would tell me about music, about cities you could roam. I would tell you, call me selfish, but I want to be your home. Lately all our conversations shrink to weather, work and sleep. I keep hoping you'll last deeper, but I'm scared of what I keep. So I smile and sip the coffee that's gone bitter in this cup, thinking if I start to open, you'll decide you had enough.
If I say that I am lonely, even sitting next to you,
will you see that as a burden or an honest, fragile truth?
same room, different silence. You stir your drink, I watch the door. If I had the words to find us, would we still be less than before? Every second that I waste, holding back what's in my chest, makes a distance in the space louder than the things I kept. Yeah. I've been counting all the sugar packs you line up when you're tense. I can tell just by your fingers when your thoughts are getting dense. But I act like I see nothing, scared I ask and lose control. Scared that if I crack the surface, both of us will see my holes. You once told me you feel heavy when you talk about your fears. I said no, I like your honesty, then swallowed down my tears. Cause I never learned to tell someone I'm not always made of steel. So I let you be the open one while I kept the steering wheel.
I say that I am tired of pretending I'm okay. Will you hear it as a weakness, or it's me who wants to stay?
Same room, different silence. You stir your drink, I watch the door. If we trace this back to courage, it was me who gave you less. Every second that we waste, holding back what's in our chest, turns this little wooden table to a border we can't cross.
Same room, different silence. Next time I will let you know when my hands begin to tremble, not just after you let go.
Blue came through the door. Empty hallway, sticky floor. Every match I used to cue was a way to dodge the truth. Used to tell you, yeah, I'm almost home while loading up a game. You were waiting on the sofa, I was chasing any flame. I'ma focus on the score, but on the numbers by my name. While you kept for little messages, kept asking if I changed. You would send me how you feeling, I reply with level up. Post a screenshot of my picture instead of opening up. There were nights you called me crying, I hit mute and turned away. Told myself I'll call back later, then forgot what I should say. I kept living in the lobby, never stepping on the stage. Blaming rank and blaming pressure for my distance and my rage. You were always in the background like a window I could hide. All tapping from your feelings so I wouldn't have to try. If apologies were tokens, I'd be broke for what I've done. Dropping them in every moment, I was busy on the run. Now this hallway feels like replay, like a frozen loading screen. All the chances I click cancel just to keep myself in sin. In this hallway outside the game, I can't blame the pain. All frame, it was me who never logged into what you really named. If I put the keyboard down just to hold you shaking hands, would we still have lost connection? Or I stay the same on land? In this hallway outside, yeah. It was told me on a call, I don't need you to be strong, I just want you when I'm breaking. Is that asking all that wrong? I said no, of course I got you. Then I queued another round, turned the volume on you lower so the match could drown you out. Every GG in the chat box, every emote that I spent was another little moment I could have asked how you been. But I kept on grinding levels while your patience wore away, thinking love could run on auto while I played my favorite games. Now the posters on the stairwell feel like witnesses to us. Every midnight energy drink, every half-hearted don't fuss. If I treated all your feelings like a mission I must clear, maybe we'd have lost some battles, but you know I still was here. In this hallway outside the game, I can't blame the pain. All frame, it was me who never logged into what you really named. If I put the keyboard down just to hold you shaking hands, would we still have lost connection? Or I stay the same online? In this hallway outside, yeah. I was hiding in the pixels in the neon and the noise. Scared you'd see the smaller version, not the confident big boy. If I show up soft and human, will you see me as enough? I can't love you through achievements, I must learn a different tough. In this hallway outside the game, I step out of my old frame. Next time someone says I need you, I won't answer with a rank or with a scoreless. Yeah, I can't. Door clicks softly, lights go dim, I walk home with less skies. Next time love logs into me, I won't play it on lies. Door clicks softly, lights go dim, I walk home with less skies. Next time love logs into me, I won't play it on lies.
Empty bench and silver ale, sky is turning quiet pale. First bus rolling down the hill, I'm still sitting holding still. We would race the morning sunlight just to catch this very line. You would lean against my shoulder with your coffee half awake, talk about the day ahead and all the things you had to face. I would watch your tired profile like a secret I can't take. You once asked me at the stop, do you see me in your plans? I say yeah, you know I love you, then I changed the light of strands. Joked about the crowded rush hour, about strangers on the seat. Why your question hung between us, never landing at my feet. Every schedule, every deadline was the shield I like to hold. I kept hiding all my softness, calling distance being bold. If the truth had been a ticket that I dared to validate, would we still have lost each other or arrived a bit too late? Now the wind feels like a story, brushing past my quiet face. Every gust reminds my chest of the words I've left in place. On the first bus after us, I can't blame the time or rush. It was me who shut the door when you asked for just a touch. If I let my voice fall open when you said you felt alone, would you still have disappeared or be riding safely home? On the first bus after us, I'm not running from the sea. I will carry what I remember all the evenings we came back on the same road. You would tell me about music, about poems that you wrote. I would listen from a distance like a guest inside your life, never saying how your presence stitched a calm into my nights. You once whispered I feel heavy, I don't wanna weigh you down. I just answered don't be silly with a quickly borrowed frown. If I said I feel it too, and I'm scared of needing you, maybe we would both have stayed there feeling fragile but more true. Now the headlights in the distance cut a line across the dawn. Every brightness feels like questions that I waited on too long. If I ever share this bus stop with another someday soon, I won't let that trending sentence just evaporate too soon. On the first bus after us, I can't blame the time or rush. It was me who shut the door when you asked for just a touch. If I let my voice fall open when you said you felt alone, would you still have disappeared or be riding safely home? When the next bus comes for me, I will stand and really choose not to leave my heart behind in the words I never use.
Hands are like big song for me. Ooh, footsteps echo 2 or 3. Every time the hallway lights up, it's another fight I left. You were standing in the doorway while I walked out, holding breath. If I stayed and let us tremble instead of grabbing for the keys, would we still have broken open or I found a way to breathe? Every time the hallway lights up, I see versions of that night. You behind a half-closed door frame. Ooh, me pretending I was right.
Used to slam the door behind me just to feel like I was tough. Heard your quiet breathing, shaking, still decided that's enough. Walked the carpet to the elevator, never turning back. Scrolling through a feed of strangers while you held our weeping cracks. You would text me, can we talk now? I was staring like a screen. Swear that I would answer later, then forget what you had seen. Blame the building, blame the neighbors, blame the walls for feeling thin. Never asked why every echo sounded mostly like my sin. I was raised to lead a room first anytime that he would rise. Caught it knowing when to exit, but it's just another lie. You were always standing open, every question in your hands. I was ready in the hallway, acting like I had no plans. If apologies were doorways, I still hover in the frame. All my sorries half committed, always late and mostly vague. Now this flickering fluorescent keeps on showing me my face. Someone always walking faster than his heart can never pace. If I let the silence stretch just enough to hear your fear, would I still be pacing circles in this hallway year to year? Every time the hallway lights up, it's another fight I left. You were standing in the doorway while I walked out, holding breath. If I stayed and let us tremble instead of grabbing for the keys, would we still have broken open or I found a way to breathe? Every time the hallway lights up, I see versions of that night. Yeah, I remember all the evenings when your eyes were shouting stay. Even while your mouth said fine, go in a small and practiced way. I pretended I believed you like you wanted me to leave, but the truth is I was thankful for permission to retreat. Every argument I timed it with the elevator song. Knew exactly how long doors would wait before they fully shut. Sometimes I would hear you moving, maybe reaching for the knob. By the time you made your choice, I had already changed my job. Now I stand here in this hallway with no footsteps but my own. All the neighbors fast asleep while I replay the nights we known. If I ever get to stand here with another soul someday, I won't run from every shaking, I'll let both of us stay. Since the lights don't judge my exit, they just show me what I've done. Next I'm lost in a doorway, I will choose not to just run. If this hallway lights again, I'll walk back, not just away. Let the trembling in my chest have a place and right to stay. Since a light clicks on for me, footsteps echo towards he.
Coffee cool between our cups, morning light on crumpled sleeves. All the things we didn't say sit here heavier than steam. You were standing by the sink, turning plates beneath the tap. I was leaning on the doorway, hiding inside folded arms. Every sentence that you started hit the edge of my control, so I nodded like a stranger who just wants to play a role. You said lately I feel smaller when I'm telling you my fears. I just answer you're not crazy, then escaped into my gears. Changed the subject to the weather, to the deadlines in my phone, while your eyes kept asking softly not to leave you there alone. Now the chair across from me looks like evidence of truth. I kept saving all my softness for some perfect brave proof, but the moments don't wait politely till I'm ready to be real. They just pass like cooling coffee while I practice how I feel. Now this coffee cool between us holds the words I left last night. If I let my guard fall sooner, would we still be side by side? All the times I dodged your questions with a half smile and a joke, built a distance at this table that my quiet never broke. Now this coffee cool between us is a mirror in a cup. Next time love sits down and trembles, I won't keep my inside shut. I remember when this table was the safest place I knew. We would eat cheap takeout dinners, trading stories, me and you. You would lay your day out slowly like a map across the wood, pointing out the parts that scared you more than you thought they should. I would listen with one ear while the other stayed on guard, making sure I didn't show you where my edges still were sharp. Thought that if you saw me shaking, you would see me as too much, so I tightened every muscle anytime you reached the touch. Now the morning feels like questions written into every line of the mug that bears a lipstick mark still almost matching mine. If I love again beside you or with someone down the road, I can't hide behind convenience when their heart is being shown. Maybe honesty is messy, like a counter left undone. Not a speech with perfect timing, but a truth that finally comes. Now this coffee cool between us holds the words I left last night. If I let my guard fall sooner, would we still be side by side? All the times I dodged your questions with a half smile and a joke, built a distance at this table that my quiet never broke. So I pour the old cup out, let the empty porcelain gleam. Next time someone asks you with me, I won't answer in between.
Neon fading on the wall, popcorn dust along the hall.
Right. We would meet up by the posters, argue which film we should see. You pick something small and quiet, I'd say action, come with me. In the dark I watch you laugh at lines that cut a little deep, characters who spoke their feelings like they weren't afraid to bleed. You were leaning after credits, say they really said it all. I was shrugging, crack a joke about the budget or the brawl. Never told you I was jealous of the way their hearts were shown. Every monologue and whisper, doing things I've never done. I kept treating every moment like a scene I could rewrite, telling you we talk tomorrow, walking past your knee tonight. You were sharing quiet details in the glow of exit signs. I was busy checking mess instead of reading all your lines. If apologies were tickets, I'd be stuck here at the booth, trying hard to pay admission to the simple, honest truth. Now the lobby feels like bloopers of the takes I never used. All the words I kept in drafts while you kept offering your views. You once asked me on the staircase, do you think I asked too much? I said, now you're fine, don't worry, but I never let you touch what was hiding underneath me, all the fractures and the doubt. So you learn to fold your long and take your open heart back out. Every couple in the previews held each other like a vow. I would sit there with my arms crossed, acting like I don't know how. In my head I practiced phrases I could never bring to tongue, so our story kept on playing with its volume turned down low. When the final scene was over, you would ask, so what'd you feel? I would talk about the soundtrack or the pacing or the reel. Anything but say it scared me how they show the fragile parts, cause I never learned a language for the soft side of my heart. Now the credits roll without us, names and stories pass me by. I was watching other people learn to speak instead of hide. If I dared to drop the script and just stumble through my truth, would you still have left the theater?
If I ever share this lobby with another pair of eyes, I won't drown the final questions in a flood of cheap replies. When they ask me what I'm feeling, I won't dodge behind the score. I will risk the awkward pauses just to show a little more. Now the credits roll without us, names and stories pass me by. I was watching other people learn to speak instead of hide. And when the house lights rise again, I won't leave my lines unread. If love sits beside my seat, I'll say more than that is good instead.
Hearing echoes through the shelves, paper sleeps on wooden beds. Closing time at the bookstore, all the spines I've come to know, full of people who say everything that I'm scared to let you know. If I treated you like pages I could open, bend and read, would we still have gone to silence? Found words we both could keep. Closing time at the bookstore, I turn letters in my hand, thinking how I held my story like a secret contraband. You would meet me after work here when the street was almost dark. We would hide inside the paper like a quiet borrowed park. You would tell me about poems that had changed the way you breathe. I would smile and nod politely, never say what's underneath. There were lines about confession, about loving without masks. I would underline them softly, but I never took the task. You were sitting by the window, tracing titles with your thumb, while I stacked my hidden chapters in a place you couldn't come. Every novel on these tables holds more courage than I gave. Characters who say I'm breaking without dressing up as brave. If the truth had been a story I could hand into your palms, maybe we would still have endings, not just separate quiet songs. All these covers keep on asking, will you tell your own tale too? I've been reading other voices while I whisper mine from you. Closing time at the bookstore, all the spines I've come to know, full of people who say everything that I'm scared to let you know. If I treated you like pages I could open, bend and read, will we still have gone to silence? I found words we both could keep. Now I switch the lamps off, slowly roll by roll like fading scenes. Every corner holds a moment with your laugh between the beams. You once told me you feel foolish when you ramble about dreams. I said no, I like to hear it, but I kept on quarantine. I was terrified you'd leave me if you saw my hidden ink, so I kept my senses tidy, never showing when I sink. Let you tell me all your worries, all the storms that made you cry, while I nodded like a reader who won't join you in the sky. If I ever stand here later with another by these shelves, I will not just hand them authors, I will hand them parts myself. Let them hear the shaky phrases I've been saving for some days. Say I'm scared you'll find me fragile, but I'm here with you anyway. Maybe love's a dog-eared chapter, not a picture-perfect spine. Lines we underline together even when they cross the line. Closing time at the bookstore, all the spines I've come to know, full of people who say everything that I'm scared to let you know. If I treated you like pages I could open, bend and read, will we still have gone to silence? Or found words we both could keep? As the last light leaves the ceiling, I lock up and hold one truth. Next time someone stands beside me, I'll let them read my story too.